Today we're going to go over a Mass Valkyrie attack. This is a Town Hall 9 versus another Town Hall 9. The main difference between it and other attacks, there's two main differences. One is the spell composition, and the other one is kind of the angle that you're going to start the attack, the pathing that it takes. So as far as spells, you definitely want to dedicate the majority of your spells to getting around walls. Some people, like myself, I prefer 2 jumps with some haste when it comes to Mass Valkyries, but Earthquakes can be equally as good and sometimes better. So what you want to do with your Valkyries is you need to get them into the core of the base, to the meat of the base as soon as possible. And the biggest thing you want to avoid is having them run willy-nilly around the edge of the base, because most of the time there's no defenses on the edge of the base, and Valkyries are going to target any structure, and they'll only prioritize structures that are close together. For instance, this laboratory and this gold mine are touching, so it can hit both with one swing. It's going to prioritize that, say, over this building and this building. And that can make for some weird AI decisions, and they'll kind of run amok every now and then. But it's different than a kill squad attack where you have to identify where the queen is, where the CC is, how to get to certain defenses. There's no specific structure that's going to change what angle you come in for your attack. The only thing that you're going to be looking at for where and how to come in to the base is the walls themselves. And one mistake that I see very often, especially with Mass Valks, is for instance, if you were to earthquake this section here, and that opens up about a third of the base on the inside, and then a jump spell comes down here to get to the queen, well, you opened up this third of the base with the earthquakes, but then you're going to jump your Valkyries right into several walls, and you can't really tell which direction they're going to try to go, and you basically wasted these earthquakes if you came down from the bottom. So once you drop your earthquakes, if the earthquakes go here, what you want to do is draw a straight line from the core of the base to the outer wall. So for instance, if that's where the earthquakes are dropped, your straight line is going to come through this earthquaked area through to the outer wall, and that's where you want to jump your jump spell. So that way they come in, jump these walls here, and all of this is already taken care of. So you know exactly where they're going to go, and that should be right into the core. Another thing is, against a Town Hall 9, I definitely recommend bringing at least 1 heal spell. Some people use a heal into haste or heal into rage. For the most part, against Town Hall 9s, Valkyries have just enough health to kind of work their way through the base and not die off a lot. But healing is definitely highly recommended for Town Hall 9 because they do insane amounts of damage and they move fairly quickly. So haste and rage are really most effective against Inferno Towers. The other part is Inferno Towers cancel out healing done to the units that are being targeted. So 2 Inferno Towers on multi, there's not really a way to make heals effective, because if they're getting hit by the Infernos, they can't be healed. And if you're trying to heal them up after the Infernos, it's just counterproductive. So that's why if you're attacking a Town Hall 10, it would be better to bring maybe a freeze if they're on single target and you're worried about a golem getting in there in front or something, or multi also. But really you want rage and haste to make sure the Valks get in there, because the best way to keep them alive is not by healing them, it's by getting them in and killing everything so they're not even taking damage anymore. But for Town Hall 9, heals are pretty good. And if you're using pretty much all Valks, then that's kind of your only option as far as funneling. So you're going to want to drop a couple along this side that you're going to attack from to start clearing out these outside buildings to help create the funnel. And patience is definitely key. The golem drop to help soak up some of the damage, take the fire away. But like I said earlier, you don't have to target the queen with your attack. 2 single Valkyries walked up to the queen one at a time and took her out. The problem with the archer queen and other attack styles, for instance, hogs or balloons, is they ignore the archer queen and they go around her and she's just sitting there shooting her. But units that target any structure, like Valkyries, they're going to target the queen if they get close and she's shooting at them. So that's why you don't really have to worry about which angle you come in for the queen. So the jump spell led right to the earthquake hole and let the Valkyries really come into this base and start tearing stuff down. And they walked across a double giant bomb up here, and so that's where the heals come into play for Town Hall 9. It's because 2 giant bombs are not going to kill Valkyries unless they're already low health, but it took them down to maybe 20% or less health. They were definitely in the red. So that's where 2 heals is recommended, or a heal and some haste and rage, whatever. But at least 1 heal, it definitely is recommended for Town Hall 9. And just make sure that pathing, that funnel is good, so that the Valkyries get into the core. Because if they run around the outside of the base, almost every single defense is going to be shooting at them, targeting them, before they even get in to kill anything on the inside. So that's pretty much it for Town Hall 9 Valkyrie attack. It's pretty expensive to practice it, but right now Valkyries are definitely the most powerful thing that they give us. So I highly recommend practicing with them and getting proficient with them. It's a very viable war attack. All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.